usually limit my discussions with regards to biraciality to a few comments here and there because I disagree with the point of view that a lot of YouTubers have with regards to being mixed race, being biracial, and what racial category one would go into because they have parents from varying backgrounds. But of course, it's definitely an offshoot of IR dating. And in your video, Bmatt, you made so many good points and ones that I could relate to and I wanted to touch upon. To be black in the United States, all that's required is to have one black parent. To me, I don't care where you live in the world, if you have one black parent, you are black. That's it. Biracial only describes the degree of blackness. Now, most African Americans are mixed race anyway. Most African Americans have a varied background. So if biracial blacks are a new race, then all African Americans are a new race. I haven't seen the study that says 50%, 60%, 70% of black blood is necessary to wear the title of black. But I have seen people with my own two eyes who are only 1/4 black who obviously look black to the eye because black is the dominant gene. Now, in order to be black, all that's required is one, you have a black parent or you're part of the black diaspora. So there are Hispanics who, when they go home, of course, you see two people there who are wearing the racial title of Hispanic, but you know that there is a line of black blood there. That's very common with the Dominicans and with the Puerto Ricans. You made a point that was so poignant to me and one that I can relate to so well. And I'm hoping that my friend Lori will watch this video and make a response to it because she's guilty of this. When people see me, they will often ask me if I'm Puerto Rican or they assume that I'm Puerto Rican, especially if I'm in New York City. They'll come up to me and they will speak to me in Spanish. But I always, when people ask me what I am or what I'm mixed with, of course I will tell them what I'm mixed with, but I always make it a point to tell people that I am black. Or if they assume that I am Puerto Rican or Panamanian or Peruvian, I always correct them and tell them that I am black. But a lot of my biracial friends, and I have so many biracial friends who consider themselves or classify themselves as biracial, they, take it as a compliment when people do not categorize them as black. If they refer to them as Latina or Hispanic, they think it's cute and they take it as a compliment. But if people refer to them solely as black, they correct them. And Lori has been guilty of this. If people refer to her as Puerto Rican, she doesn't necessarily deny it. But if somebody calls her black, she will make it a point to let them know that she isn't black. And then she goes on to describe her racial breakdown. All it takes in the U.S. for a child to be black is to have one black parent. The child is going to take the race of the minority parent in this country. That's just how it works. Whether you're black, Hispanic, or Asian, if you have a minority parent and a white parent, you fall into the racial category of the minority parent. Now, my friends who are half Asian and half white, they refer to themselves as Asian. A lot of my friends who are Hispanic and white, they refer to themselves as Hispanic. But there is a new push for a lot of biracials to redefine themselves as biracial. And I have noticed that the vast majority of the biracials who are doing this are biracials who have a mother who is white. If the mother is black, biracial children gladly, proudly, without question or denial, state that they are black. Now, I'm not trying to, have a clash of the biracials or to start a war of the biracials, but that has been my personal experience. That is what I have noticed. The child will attempt to take, or does take, the racial status of the mother. This is okay and works out perfectly if your mother is black because you're going to be perceived as black socially anyway. But when your mother is white, you cannot take the status of the white mother. Society isn't going to let you. So the closest that a lot of the biracial children can get is referring to themselves as biracial, and then they'll go down, just break down the ethnicity of the mom. But they can't wear the title of white, and if they attempt to, white people will correct them. White people will let them know that they are not white. Whether you are or refer to yourself as mixed race or multiracial or biracial, in the U.S., you are black, because race in the U.S. is not based on biological evidence or scientific facts, or what we know to be scientific truths even. Race in the United States is a social construct, and the argument can be made really that race is a social construct everywhere in the world. But anywho, regardless of the racial category that blacks of any mixed variation will give to themselves or apply to themselves, society is always going to categorize any person mixed with black as black. I mean, that one drop is some really, really powerful stuff. All it takes is one drop to make you whole. Now, I wouldn't really go that far, but if you are biracial, in my eyes, in society eyes, you're a black person.